Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to work with blob fields. So what is a blob field? Well, blob field is nothing but a set of binary data, and depending on the database you use, binary data are represented. For example, when you have a SQL server, here we have a table student, and that table student has name, surname, which are pretty much just strings, and it has the image field, which is binary data. For example, if that was the case with Microsoft Access, then instead of var binary, you would be able to use all object field. So blob fields are nothing but a set of binary data. Usually what we use blob fields are to store, for example, images or some other graphic content, and you can also use blob fields to store any type of binary data, not just images. Those can be any type of files, for example. So in our case, we have a table student, and what we'll simply do is we'll save an image of a student inside that blob field. And if we return to our application, we have a database grid here. We have a database image component, which is showing the content inside this image field, as we can see here. And in this case, I used auto query component. In most of my previous videos, I used auto table, but when working with blob fields, it's not recommended to use auto table because auto table will always load all records from inside the database table. And if you have blob fields inside that database table, that can significantly decrease the performance of your application, because other table will load all those records, and meaning all those blob fields. And like I said, that will decrease the performance because you need to wait until everything is downloaded from your database server. And of course, network traffic can be quite big. So in this case, when using auto query, you can use this SQL statement to pretty much say what records do you want to load from the database server. In this case, I selected that I want to download everything, but because in this case I know that only, if we make a select here, we see only 3 records, so pretty much that is not a problem. But like I said, if needed, I can always add here a where condition, where I could say, okay, I only want, for example, 5 specific records or just 1 record. That would be pretty much the best solution. So, like I said, you don't have this option with auto table, but you have it with auto query. So, like I said, when working with blob fields, I definitely recommend to avoid auto table, but instead use the auto query component. And if we set this to active, as a result of that query, we have 3 records here, and we have 3 students. And currently, none of those students have, if I run the application, none of those students have images inside. As you can see, nothing shows here. Okay. And image can be in several different formats. For example, that can be a bitmap image, which is not a problem. It's automatically supported in C++ Builder. But if you are going to use JPEG or PNG, then you need these headers to be included in order for DB image or image component to be able to show these images in these formats. So without this header and this header, you would not be able to show JPEGs or PNG images inside this component here. So we added these headers, and we added a open dialog, which would help us to select an image. So our idea here is to add a button. Okay, and that button will simply say save image to blob field. Okay, and when clicking this button, I will try to select an image. So I'll just say if open dialog, so it's dialog 1 execute, which pretty much means if execute returned true, which actually means that the user actually selected a file. So if user selected a file, what we need to do is to save that file or that image under this image blob field for the current student. So I'll just first edit the current record. So it is the auto query 1 component. Edit. And what you would normally do here is you would say auto query 1 field by name, and what is the field name is image. Okay, image. And so normally what you would have here is as BCD, as Boolean, as bytes, as currency, date and time, float, integer, and so on. But you don't have something like image or something like that. And so what we need to do here is to cast this expression here, meaning this field, into a blob field. And we can simply do that by using static cast. And I'm casting this type of field into a blob field pointer. Okay, casting this one, and now when I casted that type of field, this image field as the blob field, then I have some other things, which is load from file. Okay, so I can directly load an image or any other file from a disk and save it inside this database table, which is nothing but a blob field. And what is the file that I want to load from is the one from the open dialog 1. Okay, and once I've done that, I'll just save everything by using the post. Okay, so let's see. And as you can see, if we scroll through here, everything's empty because in our database, these are no values here inside that blob field, meaning nothing is saved. There is no image inside, but save image to blob field, and I have prepared two sample images, and I'll just say that what I've selected is the first student, John Doe. Let's say that I assign image 1 to him. Okay, so this is the image 1 stored here, and if I now retrieve data from the server, now I can see that some binary data is stored inside that image field, inside that blob field. And I can skip to a second student, and I'll assign him a second image, and it's this. Okay, so if I execute SQL again, I can see again binary data here. And okay, so that's interesting. I guess I should use double buffering, I believe. Okay, let's try that. So this is the component db image 1. I'll use the constructor. Double buffered is true. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it worked. Well, and that's pretty much what we now did here. We used this blob field image as nothing but a container for PNG files, and the content of that blob field is shown inside the TDB image component because we included this header here. Okay, and in order to do that, we casted that image type into a blob field by using blob field pointer by using static cast. So pretty much I would say this is probably the fastest option. I don't know if anything faster can be done. But what else can we do here? We can also say, okay, I don't want to have an image. I want to delete, for example, the existing image of a student. So we can add another button here, and we'll just say delete image from blob field. Okay, so normally we would always have a message box saying, are you really sure you want to delete, and blah, blah, blah. But let's presume that we are sure. What we can do is simply say, okay, edit that field and not load from file. I actually don't believe I need this as well. I will just say clear. Okay. So we have images of the first two students, and if I refresh this inside the database table, we see a binary data here. And let's say that I want to delete image from the first student, and it's null. Okay, so delete again, and it's null. So it's pretty simple. And as you can see, we just use the clear method here to do that. And that's pretty much it. Now you see how to use the blob fields from inside C++ Builder. It's really simple and can be really useful. And like I said, in this case, I demonstrated the use of blob fields using images, but as I previously said, you can use any type of file to be stored inside a blob field, pretty much, because blob fields are nothing but a set of binary data, and it's really not important if that is an image or something else. That's it. Well, thank you for watching, and like always, if you have any questions, please leave it in your comments. See you next time. Bye.